went for that team fight composition, didn't work well. Perhaps in game number 2, they will go for the Assassins.
One more game to solidify the biggest upset in MPL ID history. Geek Fam with the bands here swapping sides. It is going to be the Ling, the Julian next, but RRQ, they choose to go for the Fanny band up against Geek Fam.
Oof, I think I don't know, understanding that Beloyski is the main enabler for the side of Geek Fam, maybe RRQ will try and deny that somehow, right? If they ban out the Franco, there's no guarantee that that will shut down Beloyski. You know, there's plenty of heroes available in the current patch that can enable the team in the same kind of fashion. So we'll have to see if they go for the pick, if they go for the ban. But actually, Geek Fam, respecting the potential for Vin to do the same, if not better, they ban out the Franco as well.
Okay, now you're seeing respect ban here. Ling, Julian, and as well as Franco. Ling, Julian, Albert, and as well as that Franco for Vin. Meanwhile, RRQ responding with also a respect ban themselves with that Natalia ban. Of course, sending their warm regards towards Beloyski. Ruben won the first pick. What will they opt for?
Valentina is up for grabs. The best mid laner gets picked up straight away. Doesn't even need a moment to think about it. Geek Fam, they pick it up. And the thing is, with Valentina, it's very flexible. You can actually bring it and give it over to Beloyski as a roamer. It still dishes out so much damage because of just that crazy base damage. But, whoa! Achil, the Pharmus was actually left out. I forgot about this. With the Pharmus picked up, it's going to be the battle of the cult altars. Valentina can steal it away. Heavy spin, also ready though, by Albert on this Akai. We're already seeing a Beatrix pickup from Ruben. And once more, will we see a mage? A roamer? Will we see perhaps an XP laner here picked up? Esmeralda still up for grabs, and Tamaz as well.
Yeah, both offlaners actually present in the previous game. So we'll have to see if Geek Fam want to opt for that. They have backline with the Beatrix. And with this Valentina, is just very, very flexible, and the Thamus, which Mirko considers a broken hero, has been picked up for the side of Geek Fam.
It got nerfed, but come on.
It's annoying.
It's still so tanky, so sustainable.
With Vengeance in hand as well, it just adds more sustainability and as well as durability. But yeah, I feel like Geek Fam still with the same approach here. Thamus to close out an XP laner here to close out the first phase. But RRQ will go immediately straight to Claude here again, looking to perhaps somehow repair what Skylar has done from game number 1. So we'll see here, based on RRQ's drafts, it's still with the same 2 heroes, Akai and as well as Claude.
Right, with the Pharmus in the game right now, you have to wonder if the approach that Coach Achil is considering right now is the fact that, okay, we weren't doing so well in the team fights, our main carries got picked off, got assassinated. So now with the Pharmus, that won't be a concern any longer, right? And this allows them to just dive in a lot deeper as well with the nature of Pharmus as a hero. So we'll just have to see for Geek Fam, right? Knowing that that might be the case, what will their response be? Predicting some kind of dive, some kind of aggressive maneuver, they banned out the Masha as well.
Let's see, from the bans, final ban here coming out from RRQ as they wrap up the second phase. Do they want to target more heroes on to Beloyski, respecting his Selena, his Natalia? But no, they go for the last ban. Karina, respecting Hans, who was a menace, straight up menace in game number 1.
0 deaths.
Exactly.
0 deaths, 5 kills and 6 assists up against 3 frontliners.
Exactly.
What the heck, man?
A very good and as well as, adaptive result here, adaptive approach from the side of RRQ. And Geek Fam, they will go for that Phobius pick, so signaling an assassin here perhaps on their last 2 picks. But RRQ, for their first pick in the second phase, I don't know, man, I'm seeing Lilia here as a good option for side of RRQ.
I wonder if Geek Fam is predicting that the Akai won't be going to the jungle, right? Because they banned the Phobius, right? So maybe they themselves want to go for an assassin though. So we'll just have to see. For RRQ right now, this will really round out their composition, right? Are they going to go for more frontline, a bit similar to game number 1? Or do they think that's not going to work any longer and do something different? Because the composition from Geek Fam, it's also not exactly the same playstyle.
Let's see. Phobius banned out. RRQ with the first pick. They pick up the Yve. Geek Fam now with the response. With the Phobius ban. Is this hinting at something?
Exactly.
In the jungle.
Exactly.
Lancelot, maybe. But if you're up against a lot of sustain, a lot of disengage, like the Akai, like the Faramis, I don't think Lancelot can be picked up efficiently up against this team composition. Maybe they can actually just opt to put the Thamus in the jungle, pick up another XP laner that is very dash heavy. Benedetta is a hero that just recently got buffed, but they go for the Grok first, setting up
as well.
for a Helkert in the jungle.
A Helkert in the jungle. I like the sound of that. But yeah, with Grok and as well as Thamus as their front laner here, it seems like Geek Fam, they want to go for the early game. Remember, Valentina, very strong for 2 levels. Level 2, Grok level 2, very strong. Helkert will try to find a pickoff on towards Claude there after getting level 4. So Geek Fam, they want to get the ball rolling early and perhaps looking for it like game number 1, 13-minute end, 14-minute end.
Perhaps, man. And we talk about the dash-heavy, tanky heroes. R7, I think, will be on that Paquito. So he'll be looking to get that lane dominance and roam around the map. Both teams honestly have a lot of potential, but I think when it comes to the team fights, Geek Fam has the edge, man. They have a lot more area of effect ultimates to try and make plays off, and they have the Valentina that can be so versatile. So this is looking quite dangerous, man. RRQ, I hope they have a plan, because Geek Fam, they seem to have they just seem to know something that we don't, and that's a bit scary to me.
What's even scarier is I think RRQ, they do have a plan. In game number 1 and in game number 2, 100%. The thing is, Geek Fam have been able to outthink RRQ in the games. The execution has been perfect. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're jumping into the Land of Dawn for game number 2 of this best of 3. The first game was all fire.
All
see the same?
fire. We'll see the same. We will see the same. I mean, it's straight up very hot in here. It's so intense, Mircon, as well as Rashi. But it seems like, yeah, Faramis is harassing Helkert here in the early minute.
Ooh, so it is going to be a...
Yeah, Faramis roam.
It's a roaming Faramis, exactly.
Yeah,
so this allows him to just do a lot more work in the early game. He can actually try and pressure as much as possible, and already we see that Hans essentially gets bullied away. In the first game, we saw that Geek Fam's approach is to shut down Skylar, gank the gold lane again and again. Will they do the same thing as Voloisky gets pressured away? They shoot him out of RRQ's jungle.
Yeah, there you go. We're already seeing a very aggressive Voloisky. No battle spell for the next few minutes. But again, Geek Fam, they can play with this. They can play with this aggression with Elzura on this Valentina. They have a lot of early game pressure. Vindo coming back in, almost bringing Elzura back, but will be able to force Elzura to flicker out. Meanwhile, top side, Chadera again winning in the trades. Skylar won. Yeah, he had to recall there. He was actually kind of low.
It seems like Faramis needs to assist Claude top side here, but it seems like rotation-wise, both teams, especially both junglers, they're quite happy with their form here up to this minute. But again, the focus will definitely shift towards the gold laners, Skylar and as well as Kadira, especially after this first turtle. We are going to see and witness here the first battle for the first turtle.
Right, the control over the turtle area is already in the hands of Geek Fam, and they have options to make plays with. Level 4 is already in the hands of most of the players here, so the ultimates are ready. This might mark the beginning of the first big fight in game number 2.
Let's see, turtle fight number 1. Geek Fam, better position here. R7 jumping in on the 3. Real world inflation popped in, but that's the cold ulcer popped by Geek Fam. Albert jumps in with a heavy spin, is able to shoo away the members, but Hans picks up the solid retribution onto the turtle, chained in with his stinger. But in the mid lane, there's not much else. Geek Fam winning out again in the early fight.
Wow, turtle claimed by Hans there, even though Albert is just standing there. No pressure whatsoever, man. But Helkert, while Char connects onto his Clay, Elzura trying to find a play here. Clay pops that sprint to immediately to retreat. And yeah, still 0-0 here. No first blood in the second game for the first 3 minutes.
Being able to steal away the gold buff, that's a small victory for RRQ, and you can see the gold department, right? Geek Fam is already ahead, and they're looking to extend that gold lead even more. Voloisky is so proactive, man. Every single time, he's always trying to find information. He's always trying to pressure away at the members of RRQ, and they actually rotate to the top side.
Let's see, again, Voloisky is actually opening up the map so well here to enable his team once again to look for trades, to go and open up the other side of the map and look for even more. Meanwhile, top side, Chadera and Skylar just dishing out a little bit of damage, but in this game, I feel like both teams are going to be a little bit calmer. They're not going to go for any crazy fights. But just as I say that, Maloyski opens up the map. Chidera, with the Renner shot, is able to find Albert. But, whoa, I don't know about this. Chidera jumps into the lane. Maloyski there with a wild charge is able to cancel out the real-world manipulation. Meanwhile, Geek fam, there you go. Dark Side falls. The Cult Ulcer perfectly placed by RRQ. But it's also returned here by the Cult Ulcer from Elzura. Albert dishing on the damage. Finn jumping back in to find the hook. But it's going to be the Hans who actually gets zoned away. Both teams backing up. Elzura under the turret, finding Finn with the first blood. Presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A series.
Man, I am thrilled to see this match now. Mirko and Arashi Geek fam taking the first blood. It seems like they are not finished. Maloyski here will fall as Skylar will claim that kill. A little too aggressive there from side of Maloyski. He is a little offside, but take a look across the map. Luke is proactive here, already damaging the turtle to half HP.
Luke here on to the turtle. RRQ the response as well. Albert doesn't have the heavy spin. It's actually still Albert who wins out the retribution battle here. And that brings RRQ back to just a small, slight goal lead for Geek fam.
Slight goal lead for Geek fam, but remember, Geek fam has Hans on the Hellcurt, so he is on an assassin, and we've seen that this man can be absolutely lethal. And RRQ, they have to be even more aware because Elzura on the Valentina can also make more of those proactive, insane divey plays. And I think in that fight earlier, what's really under overshadowed essentially is Maloyski with the walls with the block, man. He's just so efficient, and he puts it to absolutely good use.
Chidera stealing out that gold buff with the Renner too. There has been, he's getting chunked very low. Still able to run away. Albert though, looking for the engage. Heavy spin, not ready just yet. Cult Ulcer already used by Elzura. A massive, massive ultimate already here. And Chidera actually doesn't get that gold minion.
You know, that's a huge ultimate burn. But taking a look at the items here, yeah, I mean, DHS already for Claude here, Rashi.
Yeah, the DHS is already built for Claude and straight into a bit more armor. He understands again, Skylar needs to actually survive most of the engages. Defam has been playing very good in that takeoff potential, especially when Chidera has a beauty.
Oh my god, the silence! That's why they went for the Hellcurt. The silence when you jump in. It's actually so perfectly placed as well onto Vin there, and he wasn't able to pop out that Cold Ulcer.
I mean, if you take a look at closely on what happened earlier, Maloyski was fading for play, and then immediately the backup, the communication comes through. But bot side here, of course, Thamez, level 8 with vengeance will almost solo kill that Paquito. R7 and as well as Luke though, still 0-0-0, nothing on the boards just yet. They are just focusing on their lanes, but man, Geek fam now, they are building up. They are shaping up here to a perhaps 2,000 gold lead.
And the gold lead is becoming wider and wider here, and the next hurdle will be once again contested. RRQ is already on the spot. Can they go for something more aggressive before the members of Geek fam converge on the situation?
Let's see Elzura. He has heavy spin, wild charge on the 2, and Elzura's there to pin them down. No follow-up just yet. R7 providing the disengage there with the knockout strike as Albert jumps in with a heavy spin. Turtle still there. No retribution just yet, but Albert secures it. Elzura jumping in once again onto Finn, but will be forced to flicker out. Both teams again disengaging. RRQ trying to convert onto the mid lane turrets. Hans is there to defend with Elzura. Skylar jumps out with a battle mirror images. R7 jumps in deep. That's going to be Luke taking a lot of damage, soaking it in with a vengeance, but ultimately he will be taken down. Maloyski with a conceal backing off. RRQ, they do not want to lose this game.
Oh, that is such a shame trade for side of Geek fam. They lost a turtle, and as well as they lost a member there, Luke. A little too aggressive there, slight miscommunication, and 5 members were able somehow to dish out the damage here. Perhaps this is just what RRQ needs here to shift the gold lead.
Honestly, it was a very creative play by Maloyski as well as Zura, man. They combo the unstoppable charge with the heavy spin stolen from the side of RRQ. But unfortunately, it doesn't play out in their favor. The Cult Ulcer, I think, was the main issue there. It just stopped them in the track, and they were forced to back away from that zone. And considering that the turtle is in contention, right? It's being contested by both teams. RRQ just comes out on top there.
RRQ does comes on top, but for the turtle battle, it will be in favor, of course, out of RRQ 2-1 here as of right now. Next will the Lord will spawn, but Geek fam, man, Game number 1, it was close. Game number 2, they are showing consistency here, Mirko.
They are. They are very consistent here. Both of the teams, right? For Geek Fam as well. But they're taking the proper fights. The people, the teams who've been winning the fights, it wasn't because of setup, Arashi. It was because both of these teams just know exactly when to go in. Some Geek Fam win, some RRQ win, but look at Chadera in that top side. R7 is just waiting for it. He goes in here just to clear out the way. It goes in for the knockout strike as well, but that's even Chadera picking up that tier 2 turret on that top side. Meanwhile, RRQ, no response just yet. Will finally decide to move into that mid lane, but with the conceal. Beloyski's looking for a pick. Battle mirror image instantly by Skylar as Beloyski just tries to go for that wild card. He's just trying to predict movements.
He's just trying to predict here, and it's RRQ. With that information, perhaps they will somehow gamble this Lord. Seek out more information. Top side heavily favoring Geek Fam though. RRQ needs to take care of that, but Skylar here trying to provide vision as well as information as well.
R7 clearing out the waves in the mid lane. Albert jumping in. Finn coming in with the help, and that's going to be the heavy spin there, bringing everyone back. Hold Ultra placed here for RRQ with the real world inflation. Dishes out so much in the backside. Luke will be taken down, but Hans, he comes in. Chadera's not able to find Skylar, but in the end, he finally falls. A killing spree picked up as R7 jumps in onto Elzura, but Elzura survives for a little bit longer. Shut down, picked up by Clay, and RRQ wins out a 3-for-1 in the 9th minute.
1-4-3 RRQ now. They are picking up their pace. 10 minutes in the game. They aren't even, they are playing the disciplined game here, Miracle. Even though 2 man down from side of Geek Fam, they do not get overzealous and greedy. They just pull off the Lord and reset.
RRQ Hoshi has equalized the gold lead right now. Geek Fam is practically even in the gold department. I think whenever there's an objective on the map right here, RRQ has a chance to just abuse the cult altar, and Geek Fam so far have no answer. They can try and do the same thing they did earlier, right? Steal the cult altar for themselves and duke it out, but considering the kind of picks they have, maybe that might not be the best of ideas. We'll just have to see as the next Lord is still, it's the same Lord actually, is still being contested by both these teams.
300 gold lead for RRQ. Albert getting chunked to half HP as Luke will be able to bait R7 back in. Renner shot whipping. Skylar picking up the gold buff. Both teams again setting up for this Lord. But I can't help but feel that if Geek Fam, oh my god, Chadera actually finds Clay with that shot. But again, if Geek Fam wants to win a fight, they need to steal the cult altar. No other ultimate is as valuable as that cult altar.
This just adds more sustainability for that team fights, add more resources as well, Miracle. It seems like now Geek Fam as well as RRQ is, they are low-key chunking this Lord. I'll take a look at Albert. Heavy spin on towards Kadira here. No ball of damage just yet as Kadira will definitely escape. But now Albert is going to be the target. Real world revelation has been popped.
There you go. Elzura once again on the Akai ultimate is able to bring Albert back. Heavy spin, bringing him back, pinning him down. But he will not be able to get taken down here. Chadera falls. Skylar with the battle mirror image and the blazing duet is able to find everyone. Hans on the back foot, running away, finding one trade on the board, but it's still RRQ who comes out on top. R7 with the movement. Hans, no! R7 picking up the killing spree. And that is RRQ solidifying their goal lead here in the 11th minute. They're waiting for the enhanced Lord. That was the wipeout presented to you by Heads and Shoulders.
Oh, slight mismechanic there. Arashi, Helkert, Hans got the jitters. He was trying to do a sidestep, but crashes into the wall. Arashi, what do you see?
It's just a difficult situation, man. He is playing very, very safe. He did get a kill, but he gets his first death in that fight as well. It's very difficult for him because of the cult altar, but beyond that, the amount of armor, the amount of defense that both teams have, especially on the side of RRQ, even the Paramis has an antique cuirass, and so now they go for the Lord here. The steal almost comes in, but that's Beloyski stuck outside.
Beloyski gonna get taken down there. A very risky play, but they had to go for that. Meanwhile, concealed pop dive in. Elzura stealing out again. The heavy spin. I think the most valuable ultimate to take for Geek Fam has to be that cult altar. The two fights that they've won have been on the back of that cult altar.
But remember, they are on the defense here. Perhaps with that heavy spin, they want to delay the rotations, the minions. But yeah, replay.
As you can see, man, in the beginning, they were just able to survive the whole thing, and then afterwards, they just pull in. So the cult altar was valuable, man. This replay was presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A series, and with that play, they will now pressure Geek Fam into their own base.
Let's see again. They're actually able to defend this really, really well. None of the base turrets was taken down for RRQ. It's already a 4,000 gold lead on RRQ though. Dark Knight falls. They're looking for a pick up top. It's actually Hans who's going to be zoned away as he jumps out of vision. Skylar, that pocket. Hans, he finds the pocket. Oh!
No way!
Escape! Big brain plays from Hans to get out of that sticky situation.
Well, that was not a 100 IQ play. That was a 200 IQ play. And RRQ, they are now establishing a very comfortable lead in economy here. 4,000, almost 5,000. Geek fam, they have an opportunity here to turn this around just by one team fight. And the way I see it, they really need to take down Clay as well as Skylar with that Dark Knight Falls.
That pocket position, man. Like the way he was able to use the vision pockets to just stay out of range so that Skylar couldn't know where he was.
Exactly, they just weren't expecting it at all. And so in the fights though, talking about the next potential fight, I think as Mirko mentioned, the Cult Altar needs to be taken. That is one of the most valuable ultimates you can take. And from there on, I think it's all a showdown between Skylar and Kadira, right? This is that late game. There's a lot of front line for both teams. If they can melt down the front line, that opens up the back line for some serious damage. So Kadira as well as Skylar, they have a lot to do in these fights. Of course, Skylar is a lot more skill reliant, right? He's reliant on the Blazing Duet. Kadira has a lot more options to work with, and I expect Geek fam to try and take advantage of that.
Apart from that, I feel like Skylar, of course, needs to have the right timing as well. And item-wise here, it seems like Skylar is already having enough items to deal out damage.
Exactly, he has a core item with the Demon Hunter Sword and the Golden Staff, and the Wind of Nature will ensure that Hans will not be able to easily take him out in those fights. So on the other side though, the Beatrix Kadira has the same idea, right? Wind of Nature is being built right there just for that dive potential, the Pokito, the Claude as well as the Akai potentially, but the BOD with the Hunter Strike, that's gonna actually allow him to just do a lot of burst damage and keep his distance from these dangerous melee fighters on the side of RRQ.
Yeah, and he's already building towards the Melfic Roar. There you go. We see him finish it right as we mentioned it. But in this game, it's still 15 minutes in. And RRQ, with the lead, they're playing it safely, right? They're not going to go for any crazy high-risk invasion here. Respect given to Geek fam. 5,000 gold lead on the hands of RRQ. They start off the Lord here in the 15th minute. Again, this is not the Evolved Lord. This is still the Enhanced Lord.
Yeah, seems like Geek here, Beloyski, providing vision and as well as information here for side of Geek fam. And Albert, he's just chunking, he's just chilling, also waiting for the whereabouts for side of Geek fam. But I do want to add, item-wise, what's surprising to me is only one Dominance Ice here for side of RQ. Is that enough against a Thanos, against a Valentina? Will that be enough?
Well, we'll see if that's going to be enough here. RRQ, once again, getting the Lord down to a quarter of his HP. Albert looking for that heavy spin. Beloyski, with the first ability, is able to get out of that sticky situation. Once again, as R7 is able to clear out the minion wave in the lane. No one is responding to that push, and Geek fam, they might just be going for this. Yeah, Chadera has to back up. It's a 4v5 in the Lord pit. Chadera's going to be late. Real world inflation pops in. RRQ looking for the Lord. Once again, the Retribution battle comes in. You do not need a Retribution! What you need is Beloyski! How does he keep making these moments happen?
Oh, he just repairs his mistake earlier, remember, and now with the right timing, Geek fam will get the Lord here. And now RRQ, seeing that they're on man up, will try to go for this base turret here. Is that a gamble? But R7 will make sure to get that base turret. Right now, Albert and friends, they are trying to defend this Lord here, marching top side. And Geek fam, even though they are a man down, seems like they do want to get out of their base.
Let's see, again, they're going on to that top side. I don't think this is a good idea. Beloyski is able to open up the map. Eldura jumps in. Finn's gonna be caught in there. Cold Altar pop, and that's it. That's all they need. That's gonna be the Cold Altar responded here by Geek fam as Beloyski jumps into play. R7 very low, still has the conceal to get out there, and that is Geek fam forcing RRQ back. They were, however, able to clear out that Enhanced Lord, but Geek fam, they do not want to give up on the chase. Skylar jumping in again, using that Battle Mirror image defensively, and they have defended really well. Let's take a look at the real-time win probability presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A2.
69% here. Ooh, in favor towards side of RRQ. 3.3k gold lead. Yeah, ooh. I mean, yeah, with that gold lead, it seems like 69 is the perfect number to round their, probability.
It's a great number indeed, Johnny. Right now, looking at damage dealt by Axe, you can see that Skylar is on top there along with Clay. But it's just these small moments where Geek Fam is able to get the advantage, right? They have just to, RRQ, they need to find the right moment to dish out this damage. Otherwise, the amount doesn't really matter that much, So Geek Fam now, again, looking for an opportunity. No mutual objective on the map right now, so they can both these teams can get as creative as they want. And Baloyski has been showing that he has the edge in that creative department.
Indeed. Let's talk about the winning conditions here for our side of Geek Family. We talked about the need to somehow find RRQ, find Skylar, and as well as Clay, but it's not an easy task here. Arashi. Remember, they have the heavy spin that can defend teammates, but take a look at Albert here, getting chunked to almost half HP with just by 2 shots of that Beatrix.
Arashi, notice how Chadera, he doesn't have immortality. He only has a win in nature, so 1 defensive item.
1 defensive item, knowing that his team is the one pressuring on the side of Geek Fam towards RRQ. I think he feels safe enough that RRQ, they are very strong when they are within the Cult Altar. So if he can keep his distance, right, it's risky for RRQ to send any member outside of that range to try and dive towards Kadira. I think that is the idea behind his decision. Of course, having an extra bit of damage will be very valuable, especially when both teams are just trying to poke each other and try and get dominance as far as HP bars is being talked about at those neutral objectives.
Once again, RRQ are the ones to set up this Evolved Lord. This is the moment, make it or break it, the high risk, high reward moment. 1 Lord can swap, can turn the tides of the game completely. Baloyski wants to try to make that miracle play happen once more.
I mean, it's a standoff from, the first Lord, Baloyski, and as well as Albert. Not jungler between jungler, but a roamer, and as well as jungler here. Baloyski, Geek Fam seems like they have the control here. Albert, a little isolated, but never mind. Clay and friends, they are ready for the backup. Oh, R7 looks for a flank.
Yeah, they're going to go in for the flank. Finn finding Chadera, but he's going to be able to position himself really, really well. Cold Ulcer popped in. That's going to be Clay. Chunked low, but Chadera in the back finds will fall onto the hands of R7. Vengeance popped by Luke, and that is Elzura all alone. Pinned down and gunned down by Skylar. But wait a minute, Elzura still able to survive for a little bit longer. He has the winner truncheon, but he does not have the immortality. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Baloyski trying to cut the waves, trying to buy some time for his team. A 2-0 as RRQ takes the Evolved Lord.
A very good movement from side of Geek Fam. Yeah, they are a 2-man down, and they decided to relieve off pressure from the mid lane and as well as the bot lane here. Rashi, what do you see from the previous fight?
I mean, it's just very unfortunate, man. Geek Fam, they sent 2 members to try and set up a trap, right? To try and maybe surprise RRQ, Baloyski included. But unfortunately, RRQ pulled the trigger on them instead. We said it in the previous game, RRQ does very, very well when they're moving forward. So they just dive in towards the front, use the Cult Altar, and Geek Fam, they're not together. And when they're separated like that, that allows R7 to find the pickoffs, and he finds Kadira without the immortality. He gets taken out, and now Geek Fam is fighting for survival.
Let's see if they are actually able to defend this one with the Evolved Lord in the mid lane. Albert trying to zone away the members. Elzura has the Cold Ulcer ready. Dark Knight falls to the back. Finds R7's immortality. Will be caught there. Hans with the immortality of himself with Cold Ulcer to save him here. Clay. No, that's going to be the heavy spin bringing them out of the real world equation. Now it's going to be Clay still dashing out. Hans 1 HP getting out, but will be finished off by Finn. Here the mini waves are being micromanaged by Geek Fam. RRQ trying to end the game. R7 on the top side, bringing it back. Knockout strike onto the mini waves as that's going to be Skylar jumping in onto that battle mirror image. Albert jumping on under the tunnel with the Cold Ulcer now to back him up. That's going to be Luke trying to buy some time for his team to defend, and they've done it. They've bought enough time. Chadera is back up. Luke jumps in with the vengeance. That's going to be R7 forced to flicker away. Real world manipulation, but it does not matter. Albert falls, and Geek Fam win a fight, survive another day.
Man, oh man, what a solid and crisp defense and as well as offense as well. RRQ Hoshi, yeah, these are still heavily for the advantage here. 6K gold lead, and take a look at Geek Fam. Even though they are now basically their base is exposed, but it seems like Geek Fam, they are not stopping. They look for R7, and the shutdown matters here as Kadira finally picks up the first kill for himself.
60 seconds without R7 on the map. RRQ, they're in a tough situation right here. The Lord will be up before R7 is back in the game. And they are forced to actually play a lot safer without Paquito, as well as, Albert is responding quite soon. But Geek Fam, they're on the back foot and they're able to push back against RRQ. And at this point, the items are pretty much completed, but you can see Kadira finally buys an Immortal. He respects the burst potential, the pickup potential coming in from RRQ. And honestly, I think Luke on the process side allows them to actually play a lot more aggressive as well as a final fight breaks out.
Ooh, real world manipulation was popped there, Gani, but Elzura knows the damage. He calculates it perfectly. Call Alter wasn't baited out.
Yeah, indeed, and that real-world manipulation, that was information for the side of Geek Fam as well, but it seems like map-wise, if you take a look at the map, they are chill. They do not want to go for the gambles here, but again, the standoff here. But I do want to add this, Hans, with that high and dry, isn't really effective. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. The high and dry was a weird choice. They wanted to just win the game on the back of that early game. But again, here, now the tides have turned, Arashi, Donnie. Geek Fam are the ones on to the Lord. But look at Beloyski's HP.
Beloyski is taking a lot of damage. He is Radiant doesn't have, and both teams, I think they will reset the Lord yet again, unless RRQ will try and take it, or take the momentum away from the side of Geek Fam, as they are getting quite low from the Lord.
Albert.
Let's see, Vin jumping in. Elzura's Cold Alter was baited in. R7 looking for the flanks once again. Real world manipulation baited in. Beloyski trying to cancel it, but his wall actually cancels that out. Look at Luke. He's able to cancel out the real world manipulation in the end as Albert jumps in with a heavy spin, able to pin Kadira down. Cold Alter popped by RRQ along a drawn down fight here as Geek Fam is still able to kite away. R7 and the rest of RRQ will lose out on that Cold Alter. Another brilliant team fight from both of these teams. This seems like grand final material.
I mean, 0 casualties in that, what, 30 seconds team fight? 30 seconds?
That was a long one.
That was a long team fight, but it seems like 0 casualties for both teams here. And now you can see Lord is now down to half HP. Geek Fam, they need to respond with this.
The Sea Halberd was already built up by Skylar. Lord taken low here. Hans is looking for Retribution. Finn jumped in again. The Retribution battle! No! The Retri does not make sense! It's always the XP, the Roamer who gets it, and Geek Fam have find another Lord steal. But look at the members, they're all going to fall. Elzura with the winner's truncheon is able to buy a little bit more time, but his 2 members traded in for the Evolved Lord. 70 seconds on the death timers.
Luckily, for side of RRQ now, they have 2 members from Geek Fam. Arashi, what do you see earlier?
Man, that was just crazy team fight, man. I don't understand how the Lord is just never taken by the Retribution, man. The real-time win probability is favoring RRQ, presented by the Samsung Galaxy A series. They take out the Lord, and now they're going for the end here, as there's still 35 seconds before Hans is even on the map.
Look at Beloyski, he's actually still in the mid lane. He's waiting for something here as Luke is able to clear out the wave. Cold Alter pop. RRQ still here in it to win it. That's that. You can be Kadira taken down. Luke falls as well, but he's able to clear out all the minions. Beloyski still in mid lane. RRQ gets game number 2 as they will be able to push it to a 3-game series.